Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Brett Hoffland. Kirsten has the night off. Tonight there's a new push to honor Master Sergeant Nicole Amor, a native of White Bear Lake and one of 6 U.S. soldiers who were killed in Kuwait March 1st. We're told by the White Bear Lake VFW she has been posthumously promoted, and now a Minnesota lawmaker is introducing plans for a permanent symbol of her sacrifice. Richard Reeve joins us with what the lawmaker is saying and how the White Bear Lake community is coping with a difficult loss. Rich?
Yeah, Brett, when you walk into the White Bear Lake VFW post, your eyes are drawn to a new memorial. There's a helmet cradled on top of a rifle and some combat boots, symbolizing a soldier killed in action. A photo of Nicole Amor and a message book are also there. And tonight, a Minnesota lawmaker wants to make sure Amor is not forgotten. Outside VFW Post 1782 in White Bear Lake, flags are at half-staff. Inside, a memorial to honor Master Sergeant Nicole Amor, killed in Kuwait on March 1st. How hard has that hit folks here in White Bear?
It's never easy having a loss of life, especially in the military.
Jamie Frogner is a former Army National Guard medic who served in Iraq and Kuwait. She's also a mother of 2 and is thinking about Amor and her family.
Knowing that her family is going to be majorly impacted by this and, leaving behind 2 children and a husband, my heart breaks for all of them.
On Saturday, Amor's remains, along with those of 5 other U.S. soldiers, were returned to American soil at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware in a solemn, dignified transfer. Her husband, her mother, and her 4th-grade daughter there to witness her return.
It's hard for us to accept the fact that one of ours had that happen to her at the very first shot for the war, so to speak.
Amor, 39 years old, was assigned to the 103rd Sustainment Command, which provides food, fuel, ammunition, and other supplies to American forces. She and her fellow soldiers were killed in a drone attack just days before she was supposed to come home.
Just really surround that family with love. That's what we want to do.
Now Representative Bjorn Olson hopes to honor Amor with a resolution to be written into the House record about her service and sacrifice. He also hopes that a Minnesota highway or roadway can be named after her in remembrance.
But what can we do to honor and remember her forever? And that's the focus of what we're attempting to do. How can we, the small part that we play in the Minnesota House of Representatives, what small part we can play to ensure that she's not forgotten.
Never forget and never forgotten, as White Bear Lake and Minnesota mourns one of its own.
I think anything that brings her family some semblance of peace after this, like I said, she was young, she's leaving behind young children. Anything that helps them with a semblance of peace, I fully support.
Amor's family says she was passionate about growing things. They've launched a crowdfunding effort to build a greenhouse in her honor and to raise money for Garden in a Box, a nonprofit that distributes gardening kits. The family has not released any information about funeral plans, but it's believed she will be laid to rest at a location in Minnesota, Brett.
A wonderful tribute. Richard Reeve reporting. Rich, thank you so much.